Hello, welcome once again to Park Talk Radio. This is your host B, joined once again with my buddy D. What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? You having a good day?
It's a day. There's a lot of news out there, and that keeps it exciting. Personal life, not as bad as yours at the moment.
Yeah, I will say theme parks with a broken foot is not pleasant.
Oh man, did you break that at the park?
No, I broke it playing softball, but then decided a few days later to go to the park in a boot. So
nothing will stop this team from visiting your parks locally in Central Florida or around the country or world. You'll still get the news and still get some conversation going. We got a great show today. Glad we could both be here on a wonderful evening. What we're going to look at today, we got some park reviews. I went to EPCOT this weekend. There was some cruise news out there in Southeast Florida. Mardi Gras has started, and we got some news bits for you about Monster Makeover, VelociCoaster, Kennywood. We will talk about Simpsons tonight, as well as a exclusive experience at NBC Grill. And of course, if you all saw the news last week, debuting out of the horse's mouth, Epic Universe has been officially announced. The lands, at least. You know, this has been announced back in 2019 and dragging its feet due to a pandemic and some other setbacks. That said, we are ready to talk some park. You ready, D?
I'm ready to go.
All right, buddy. So I already talked to you a little bit about this as we were chatting through the weekend. I went out to Old Farts this past Sunday. You familiar with the farts besides the one that come out of you?
I am not. Could you go ahead and clue me in on that, please? Because I am dumbfounded.
Oh, man, you got to know about it as a Florida boy yourself. Farts is one of those big festivals over at Epcot. Festival of the Arts. Festival Farts for short. Food and wine is what? FNW, FA. You got Flower and Garden. We just call that one Flower and Garden.
You know, I have heard of all these. I just forgot that in theme park lingo, we abbreviate everything, and Farts is the perfect name for the Festival of Arts.
That's right. Figment's your host. They do your traditional food booths around majority of the country is with some of them having doubled up. You get food, drink, all for an awesome price of theme park inflated selling points. One margarita at a sample size, and sample size for alcohol is anywhere between 5 and 12 ounces. Sample size margarita, I would say this thing's no more than 6 ounces, $15.50. I mean, you're no stranger from buying alcohol at a theme park, buddy. You know, hard nights, you get a good, if you're having a good time, that's $300-$400 easy, especially when we see our awesome bartender friends.
A double is going to run you about $24 at Universal, give or take, if you want a double liquor drink, and if you're not getting in the refillable cup. And I will say that 15 for 6 ounces is outrageous. At least with the doubles at Universal, you get a little more heft to your drink.
Especially when this food booth is right outside the Mexico Pavilion and Epcot World Showcase. Inside there, we got the Tequila Cave, La Cava de Tequila. And then you get full-size pour. These are probably 16, maybe a little bit more than 16 ounces of fresh-made margarita. Margarita at the stand pre-mix, buddy. Come on.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But it was a good day out there.
I know that I have spent the day drinking around the world at Epcot once. Don't know if I could ever do it again because I spent $400 a day on food and beverages.
Well, that's good. You got something to eat. Howling Hard Nights, you're not even eating nothing. Usually you maybe scarf down a cold gray hot dog or a flimsy burger, bougar. Well, typically you're getting a 3 a.m. pizza after the fact.
This is true. Last year, me and the lady, we got, I think, 3 pizzas for just her and I after Horror Nights went on because we were so hammered. God.
Yeah. I remember being down the hall from you morning after trying to eat a piece. That pizza was... Ooh, couldn't believe it was the God's great gift that night before. Otherwise, it was a great day. I went with my fiance, and my mom took her out for a good day at the park. Got there a little after 11, rode the Guardians ride, which is fantastic. We can talk about that a little bit later. Not on this show, another show. We lit most of the booths. Nothing outstanding. I say a couple of the drinks were interesting. Just not the margarita. There was a lot of elderflower infused items this year for farts. Those were kind of good. Espresso martini in the actual Italian bar, not the pop-up, the Italian bar inside the area. Always perfect. And some interesting beers.
Espresso martinis. I tend to get espresso martinis when I go on cruise ships a lot.
I couldn't believe that you named that the drink of the year in January already. The cruise ship, yeah, great segue. You are a master at this show. What's going on with this cruise talk? I know it's not necessarily park talk, but Port Canaveral is real close and might as well be another park to us as you're floating around. They got go-karts and slides, and some of them have roller coasters on them, so this might as well be incorporated anyway. You tell me about this. What was going on with the cruise ship?
On the Jubilee have roller coasters on there. And a lot of people tend to cruise during their park vacation as well that aren't from the state of Florida. But the Carnival Magic today got caught in some rough weather when they were docked in Jamaica, and it is a rock-themed cruise, actually. So they were rocking on a rock-themed cruise.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson?
It is a rock-themed cruise, as in I Prevail and Bad Flower and some nice emo rock bands.
Oh, these are bands. Bands.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes. I Prevail does great covers of a lot of different music, if you haven't heard them. But they were slamming against the dock in Jamaica while passengers had already deboarded the ship to get off the boat in Jamaica. Some passengers were left on shore because the boat was getting slammed up against the dock so hard. So they got left on shore for a period of time.
Oh, God, not in Jamaica.
Oh, yeah, in Jamaica. From what I understand, the boat was eventually able to get back on the dock, and it is stranded there in Jamaica until they can get some people to come out and take a look at the damages, and they can set sail again.
Holy crap. I can't imagine that.
If they can't set sail again, they're going to have to charter fly everybody out of there.
What does charter fly mean?
So the boat is going to have to charter a bunch of different airlines to come in and fly all these people back to where they're going. Most likely the Port of Miami, because that's where the cruise took off from.
Oh my God. You get stuck in Jamaica, then you get stuck in Miami. What an awful two combo. Misery, my guy. Have you ever been to Jamaica?
I have not.
No. I've been one time when I was doing a 1-week cruise myself. No rocking and rolling out of control. No slamming. We got back on the boat at the end of it. But we got there already hungover because we were a couple days into this trip and we were trying to find some food. Found an awesome place right outside the port. Normally you don't stick to those places as it's real touristy, though this place seemed good enough. Got some excellent jerk chicken. And as we're eating our lunch, this dude is running hands full of stuff, just products, I guess, from a store. 4 federales, local police, guns in the air running down the street. There was one bag. I don't know if it was a car backfiring or they shot in the air to scare them, but they were just holding their guns up there and waggling them. They didn't shoot while they were running, but I couldn't freaking believe it, dude.
I've heard some horror stories out of Jamaica. That's crazy. Well, you know what? These cruise ships should close Jamaica indefinitely until it can get better. You know?
How would you do that? How do you close down a entire cruise line? That Jamaica is one of the easier spots for them to get to. I don't think that's going to be happening.
I was going for a good segue for you, but you dropped the ball there.
Just like they're dropping beads over at Mardi Gras this week. Dropping hot beads. Yeah, Mardi Gras started this past weekend, February 2nd, kicking off the 2024 Mardi Gras season over at Universal Studios Orlando. This sucker just started on Saturday, and will be running through April 7th. Every single day will be a parade. I know quite a few stilt walkers in there. I'm looking forward to see them myself. Parades will vary depending on the date. As daylight savings hits, they'll move a bit later in the night, so you can see those nice floats lit up and illuminated. And of course, they have the food booths, which we talked a little bit about last week. 18 different booths. You gonna hit Mardi Gras this year?
I'm not gonna be able to hit Mardi Gras this year, but I did walk around the park 2 days before Mardi Gras started, and I did not see 18 food booths set up. So
I was actually with you. Neither did I.
Do you have any idea where they're putting all these food booths?
There was a map somewhere online. We could, of course, put that in the Facebook group. Though you're all savvy folk. I know you know how to use Google. We are not better than Google. You can figure it out. Though I don't believe there's anything, even on the app, that shows the food booth. Something we're missing a little bit of on the technology front. So I'm not sure. Oh, event map. Well, look at that. Look what I did. So it looks like and we were talking about this. Everything's front loaded. 1, 2. There's 7 of them around Gramercy Park already.
Just like Horror Nights was this year.
Yeah. Nothing past the entrance to London where the Harry Potter Diagon Alley area is, and nothing past the beginning of Simpsons if you're walking in it from Fast Food Boulevard. My goodness, I don't know where the hell I'm at tonight.
It also seemed like they were taking permanent food stands and kind of overhauling the menu to make them pop-up food stands.
Correct. The entrance park where you have the Lagunitas Draft, an excellent beer, one I really enjoy. They turn that into the Belgium stand. There's 2 permanent fixtures in Gramercy Park. If you're not familiar, that's right outside the Jimmy Fallon ride and Caddy Corner a little bit over from the Mummy. They'll have several booths there, though those 2 permanent structures turn into, if I'm reading this correctly, Puerto Rico. That might not fly. Actually, it's Brazil and Colombia. Brazil, that stand you typically have pizza slices. Not getting those right now. Have to go to Louis. And then the Colombia stand, unsure. Though every single one of these stands has food, drink. There's a whole dedicated Bloody Mary bar, which you saw that last weekend. You really wanted that. With the whole chicken slider on there,
the spicy chicken sandwich.
Holy moly! That's gonna be a bad throw up later.
Let me ask you, and this may be a discussion topic for another time, but do you think they could hard ticket Mardi Gras at some point?
How much you charging for it? Horror Nights prices?
Not Horror Nights prices because no houses, but keep the park open later, food and drinks open later, rides open later. It's you don't have the houses, but you've got everything but the houses with meet and greets from the stilt walkers and parade characters and food and drinks and the rides open. I don't know if I could see Universal keeping it a included ticket that much longer.
I don't know. I think this is a whole episode you're digging up, and I say don't give them any damn ideas about charging for this thing. They already get so much money out of us trying all this stuff.
We could talk about it another time, but
maybe at the wrap up at the end of Mardi Gras.
Just was curious what you thought about that.
I say let's not include any more upcharge events and nickel and dime and make this a subscription option similar to other things where you're going to pay for the annual pass. You're going to pay for this, that. You pay, if you're going to Disney, you got to pay for the genie, No more crap. No more subscription services.
Life finds a way. Making money finds a way.
Yeah, like my great-grandmother said, it's only money you'll make more, along with many other anecdotes of words of wisdom, like... no, I can't say that one. All right, let's hit the news. Thank you, AI, once again, for providing us some excellent audio tracks, our intro, and our new news segment audio intro, brought to you by AI. We'll be happy to collaborate and work with some other partners once we get a little bit more traction. Though at the moment, AI is the way to fly.
Wasn't that a beautiful song?
AI is the way to fly. Can you sing it for me? Oh, yes. Oh, it's so great. You've heard it so many times. I've had it on repeat. I encourage you to go back and play it again. It's only, I believe, less than 30 seconds. Our producer is editing it as we speak. All right, news. First one up on the docket. Monster Makeover. Now, that turned into a much larger conversation in our previous episode. Go ahead and check it out. If you have not, the Monster Makeover, it's open, it's fully operating. It's over on the Hollywood section of Universal Studios Orlando inside the Five and Dime store, which is a couple storefronts down from the Born Stuntacular show, the old T2 building. Did you read about it? How do you feel about old Monster Makeover?
So I've got some strong opinions about this. Being $125 per person for a full face makeup. When you look at the makeups that have come out that some of these vloggers have gone out and paid for, you think to yourself, YouTube must be paying really good if you're able to spend $125 on a little bit of airbrush on your face.
But Dave, it's Monster Makeover. This is a premium experience. Half a face could take 25 minutes. A full face design, 45 minutes.
Well, it would be great if I could tell what monster they were going for when they got the monster makeup. I've seen some pictures of people that look like they had just some green, gray, and brown on the face and some shadow. And I'm like, I don't even know what you are.
Well, they went out there and dunked their face in any theme park lagoon.
That's kind of what it looked like.
Oh, God. This is not something I would pay any amount of money for. They already have face paint chairs out there. Those are less professional, not to say we're taking away from their art or the performance of these face paint artists who have the chairs set up around. I mean, those range from what? The highest one is maybe 25.
I know you can get your face painted like a puppy dog for $15.
Is that the cheapest one?
It is not the cheapest one, but I do know I've had many drunk horror nights walking around looking like a puppy dog. So
that puppy dog loves eating ground food for sure.
Oh, that's a topic when we get closer to horror nights.
Monster Makeover, give them a little bit more credit. They are employing professional makeup artists. They're using the similar painting techniques and products that you would see in Halloween Horror Nights for those who have a bit more face makeup that's less than blackout eyes on the mask or blackout lips. It's a bit more involved. Now, the examples, I will say, don't give you a lot of hope on I'm about to spend how much on what. And there's 38 different options. About 28 of them are full face. The remainder are going to be your half face. You get...
So do they have a place where we can go look at the options, or is it just once you get there, they have a book?
There's a book. Their book has been posted all over the internet. We don't need to do it for you once again. Though it includes, water-based airbrush paint. Now, that's a little different from Horror Nights. They use alcohol-based. That keeps it on there. Water-based, your sweat takes it right off. Alcohol-based, sweat keeps that sucker on, and it will stay on a while. Continuing with alcohol for setting, talcum powder, lipstick, mascara, talc powder, green marble spray, which is a setting spray to keep it on there so you don't sweat it off. I just can't imagine, buddy, paying $65, let alone $125 for face makeup in the dead of summer. I'm going to sweat it right off. Or if you go on a water ride, you want to Dudley Do Right, Rip Ride. Oh no. Ripsaw Falls, too many alliterative words, or even River Adventure, and that water comes right off.
Nope, can't go on River Adventure because that shit's closed right now, and I'm pissed off about it.
You don't want your stink broken foot getting on there anyway. Your cast boot will soak and just ooze that nasty stank as you're walking through the park. Every step, a little cloud of stink cloud comes out.
I cannot go to Universal without riding the park.
Well, you didn't.
The park at dark.
You didn't do it.
Yeah. So do we think the monster makeup will operate on daytimes of Horror Nights?
I would say daytimes for sure.
Really?
Well, right, because you can't. Well, hold on. Back up a minute. You're gonna say we can't have face makeup made in the park that they know the exact designs, but they can have full freaking costumes like we saw last Horror Nights, and they're walking in, kids with masks on.
So that's what threw me off last year, is because for all the years that I've been attending, I've never seen somebody allowed in with a costume, and then last year it's just full bore, wear whatever you want, and I know Hollywood was like that on Halloween, and they were verbal about being like that on Halloween, but
Nothing here in
Universal
Orlando.
Orlando usually does not allow that. And, I know they allow the certain face paints during the day, during Horror Nights, but, we already get so many jagaloons that walk around trying to scare the scare actors.
Jagaloon.
Or trying to scare other people. Jagaloon. That's the first thing that came to my mind. Jagaloon.
I don't know if that was a North Florida term.
Maybe. There's a softball team up here called the Jagaloons, so maybe that's...
All right, well, there you go.
I'll rephrase that. We get too many butt pirates walking around trying to scare the scare actors and scare other people when they're not even involved in the event. And that pisses me off. So if you are going to go to the monster makeup and get your makeup done, don't try and scare anybody. You're not scary. You're not funny. You're just not a good person.
They may be funny, though they did spend $125 on full face makeup and another whatever much to get into the park and whatever much to go to Horror Nights. That's pretty funny if you're doing that. Spend all that money to try to scare someone.
I don't care if Chris Farley, the funniest man to ever exist, walked around with monster makeup trying to scare the characters. I'd still tell him he was not funny.
You should tell Ariana Grande that when she got the official makeup deal and was put into a house. Ugh.
Ariana Grande. She will correct you. It's Ariana Grande.
Couldn't care less.
Were you with me when I sat on the Sapphire Falls boat with her brother?
Yeah, you were yik-yakking with him. For a guy that I feel doesn't really care about celebrities, you really care about the ones that don't matter at all.
to be famous.
Yeah, Frankie Grande was on the boat.
To have a famous sibling, We did walk right by the Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts last week.
All right. Next topic. You're just name dropping now. You think you're fancy? Yeah, because the Pro Bowl was here. We did see one of the cooler NFL players that could have been seen in the parks over the weekend. I will say that was really cool for me. I enjoyed that a lot. Next up, we're talking about this. VelociCoaster is broken.
Closed indefinitely.
Quick, fire up all the speculative talk. Fire up the news channels. Fire up your mayhem-causing news outlet. I can't remember the fear-mongering. The fear-mongering is happening indefinitely. You're going to see one of those local websites post tomorrow. VelociCoaster closed forever because it's indefinitely. And if you don't know what that means, listeners, that means there's no determinate date when it's going to reopen. That means, obviously, Dave, they're tearing it down. They're getting rid of it.
I saw people arguing on Facebook today about somebody posting VelociCoaster closed indefinitely, which to me is the proper term because we have no set date of when it's going to reopen. But people were bashing this poor person because they said indefinitely, saying, "Oh, is that really the proper term to use?" And I'm like, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Because we don't know when it's going to reopen. So indefinitely works perfectly for this situation.
That's what we're here to do. Park Talk Radio, supporter of AI, and your grammar teachers. Let's get to it. Something went wrong. It's been closed today. We're recording on the 6th. Closed today, closed yesterday, closed part of Sunday this other day. Don't know what happened. Doubt our position to speculate. Universal's doing the right thing. They're going to keep it down till it's safe and fully approved and get you back on the ride. I'm seeing Dodo's, which this could have been Wall of Shame. Dodo saying, I hope they put shoulder restraints on. I feel like I'm dying when I'm riding this.
Yeah, I saw other people talking about, I bet you it was the seatbelts malfunctioned, which if you knew anything about coasters, you would know that there are multiple safety layers in check to make sure those harnesses don't come free, not just mechanical. There are physical safety measures that keep it locked into place.
Exactly. Suspension redundancies. No one's in business to get people killed at a theme park, especially not one of the big guys.
Except for Sideshow Bob.
You do die on that one in the old Mr. Toad. You go to hell and then that's it. That ride's over. You die. So VelociCoaster is closed for the time being. Moving on. Kennywood. We are Park Talk Radio. We go a bit more than Central Florida, though we do focus on it. Kennywood. This is a place you've been to, and I'm not sure the extent of how long you've been going or how many times you've gone. But we want to talk about Kennywood and give our listeners a little bit of an overview of this one.
I've been going long enough that it was my first upside-down roller coaster ever when I went to Kennywood, called the Steel Phantom. It's no longer there anymore, but it was my first upside-down roller coaster. But nevertheless, Kennywood is a smaller, older park. It is heavily based off the steel mills and stuff back in the day, and started back when steel mill families wanted to go to the park and stuff like that. There's one of the best coasters in the park is called the Jackrabbit, and it's a thin leather strap that crosses your body. That's it. And the bunny hops on this coaster are so good you feel like you're going to fly out every time. It is an older park, but it's a classic park. They're always, they've got a lot of classic attractions, but they're always seeming to take away classic attractions and put them back in. For example, years ago, they had an attraction called the Old Mill, which was a classic Pirates of the Caribbean-esque boat ride, except for on a much lower budget. They traded that out for a Garfield attraction that was in 3D that people hated. So they did away with Garfield and brought back in the Old Mill.
Was Bill Murray the Garfield voice on that attraction?
I don't believe so, because this was way before the live action Garfield movie.
Golly. So the Kennywood, the steel mill theming makes sense because it's over in Pittsburgh, right?
Correct.
Wow. And, if you can make this relative size park to something people are more familiar with, what would you say how big this thing is, like in relation to any of the big guys?
I'd say you're looking at a Six Flags-esque park.
Okay. Any of the Six Flags, really, yeah.
Six Flags-esque park. The theming is not great, although they do have a couple of dark rides. They had a couple of dark rides back in the day that were amazing. They have a mousetrap coaster called the Exterminator, where you are in a mouse and you are a mouse going through, and the exterminators are spraying poison gas on you. It's all inside in the dark. It's a great wild mouse coaster. They've got some cool themes. I'd say if you want to go to a park and play arcade games, carnival games, that's the best place to go. The only place you're ever going to go and have a good chance of winning. They don't try and gyp you out of your winnings there.
No, they don't ban you from playing after you win too many guitars.
No. I've never seen Universal give away another guitar or bring back that carnival game since I won 5 guitars in 3 days. Well, maybe it was 6.
You're just too good.
I just threw the ball really hard. But what is Kennywood closing, if you don't mind telling me?
Oh, yeah. So this news segment on this particular park, they're closing 2 rides. They're saying it's a wave of attraction cutbacks from Palace Entertainment, which I guess is the parent company of Kennywood, has finally reached Kennywood. They're cutting the Elephant Parade, which they say is similar to a Dumbo-style kids spinner ride. And if you're not familiar with Dumbo either, it's a 2-person vehicle on pneumatic arms that go up and down, and you control, and it spins in a circle. So you can control when you go up and down while you're riding. Nothing too crazy. Another one is called the A.S.S. Kenny. It's a Zamperlaw rock and tug. I know you're familiar with a rock and tug.
Absolutely.
Well, don't say it unless yours are really bad. You're more of a suck and tug guy.
Yeah, well, it just depends on how much money I got. The massage parlors around here are pretty pricey.
Up there?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
Well, if you just got to stroll to the Panama Canal, cheap there, huh?
Absolutely.
They're also saying, if you're not in Rock and Tug, it's a boat-shaped vehicle, sits about 20, 30 kids, and these are both younger guest rides. It's a boat that's on a U-shaped track and just goes back and forth, and it spins while it's going. So 2 smaller things. I'm guessing, if I had to infer, that they're trying to cut back on some of these smaller rides with lower guest throughput due to staffing issues, or what they say are staffing issues. It's really a wage issue, but nonetheless. So I'm seeing other newer developments they've had here. I see they brought back the Old Mill in 2020. Mm-hmm. They also have Thomastown. Is that for Thomas the Tank Engine?
It certainly is.
Oh my God, this place rules. Lego Movie 4D, similar to the Lego Movie ride we have here in Winter Haven, Florida.
They have not there when I was there.
No, and I guess before that was the 4D theater was Ice Age No Time for Nuts 4D. I got time for 40s nuts. 40 nuts in your mouth, boy.
Oh, gosh. Yep, I like it.
And then the one here that's really sticking out is Noah's Ark renovation.
Noah's Ark.
Any idea on that?
It is a great walk-through dark ride attraction.
Really?
You walk through. Oh my God. It is literally looks like it could have been made in the 40s. You know, it is, you walk through, the whale's mouth, which isn't even in the story of Noah. And you get on Noah's Ark, and they have all these AAs, or audio animatronics for the non-parker.
Yep.
That look terrible, but stuff lights up, stuff jumps out at you. The boat moves and stuff like that. It's like one of those fairground fun houses on steroids, and it is a great walkthrough, especially when I was a kid. And I have actually watched a YouTube video of it not too long ago, and it's a fun attraction. We'll have to go up there together one day and check it out.
I don't know, man. Kennywood, that area, been told spooky, scary, not not the safest.
No, actually, West Mifflin's not bad. I mean, you got Pittsburgh, it's right outside of Pittsburgh, and then you got the mountains right past that, and the park itself is beautiful, and I've never ran any problems up there, but I guess if you're a Steeler fan, you don't have to worry about it. If you're anybody else, you got to worry about it. But
so if you wear Steelers gear, you're fine.
Absolutely, just like when I took you to the Tampa Bay Steelers game. They actually have a whole Steelers themed land.
No, come on.
They do.
That sounds pretty badass.
They have a coaster called the Steel Curtain.
I see that opened in 2019 as well. All right, if you're a Steeler fan and you like the town of West Mifflin, I guess you're okay and safe. Just get your muff mitts and dive in there.
Oh.
All right, next topic on the news here, Dave. We said we're going to touch about it. The news story last week got way blown out about Tron. Simpsons rumor. Is it closing? The contract is up in 2028 or 2027, depending on which interpretation you're looking at and which coast you're looking at. As Hollywood Universal has Simpsons as well, I believe they're the ones that get another year on the contract just based on when it opened. Though this thing is supposed to be cleaned out, gone, contract's over 2028, does not appear, or 27 rather, does not appear that they're going to renew. I'm sure Disney's going to charge them way too much as they own Fox and all those subsidiary properties, such as The Simpsons. And that's going to be a tough hit. Duff Gardens is a great little beer spot and drink spot. Fast Food Boulevard, I believe when I read, was the most successful and highest revenue grossing location food-wise in Universal Orlando. What are your thoughts? Are they taking this out early? They're going to take it out early, get something else in. What is going to replace it? Because it will be replaced one way or another coming up at the end of the decade.
To me, I'm going to compare this to an NFL draft scenario where we're not going to know till last minute what's going to happen, and then we're going to have the closure last minute, because I think there's going to be some inner workings here of trying to make deals, which I don't see them coming to a deal. The only deal I could see feasible is if Universal offered to allow Disney to take Marvel for the east of the Mississippi, which I don't see happening.
Never going to happen. They get such a good deal on that property. They can't change or add anything. They can only update and replace track in the Marvel Island, though their perpetuity contract is so cheap when it's all said and done. And that land still pulls a good deal of guests. That Spider-Man ride still being copied to this day, that ride vehicle system.
Absolutely. But that's the only way I could see Disney, the mouse, relinquishing the rights to Simpsons for longer. But, if I was Universal, I would threaten to do a whole Horror Nights event based on Steamboat Willie due to the fact that he's now in the public domain. Be like, hey, if you don't give us Simpsons, we're going to screw up Steamboat Willie for the next 5 years and he's going to be the icon of Horror Nights for 5 years.
Oh God, that sounds awful. It'll draw a crowd the first year, though it won't do well. The same damn icon for 5 years in a row. We had that with The Walking Dead. I don't want to relive that. I don't want to go back.
we don't want that. But if I was Universal, that's what I'd threaten to make them give me Simpsons.
I don't think that's the pathway forward. Oh, hey, Mouse, we're going to besmirch your original old black and white character, Steamboat Willie. What you going to do? Give us what we want. I don't think so.
A lot of theme park goers are very black and gray when it comes to, are you a Mouse fan or are you a Universal fan? And they say, oh, Disney's pissed off about Universal doing this, or Universal's pissed off about Disney doing this. But those entities work a lot closer than people realize, and if they can come to a conclusion of something, they will. But I don't see that happening for Simpsons.
No, I don't think so as well. Either, rather. Grammar. We are the Grammar Podcast. Don't forget. I don't think so either. I don't know. There was a lot of speculation and some, maybe some hard found rumors though, and that's not our place nor our gig. I will say, I won't get to touch on this the one time. There's a pretty valid one that's been out there saying you're going to see some closures by the end of this year, 2024, and they're going to start working on the replacement. Now, you can infer what the replacement will be just based on what they're doing right now. Epic opens up next year. We'll get to that in a little bit. DreamWorks Land is opening up this year. They didn't put anything Nintendo in the two parks right now, Universal Orlando and Islands of Adventure. Or we throw in another Fast and Furious. So that's going to be it. Fast and Furious Supercharged 2. Get ready.
Yep. The coaster is going to come over from Hollywood.
Hollywood Drift in not the Hollywood area. Final news story. Yeah, go ahead.
Nowadays, real quick. Nowadays, the whole geographical locations of the parks don't mean anything anyway.
It should really just be sight lines and your icons that you can see from across the park. You see that gigantic Optimus standing up there. Boom. You know where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see that large Simpsons building, you know where you're at. Final news story, this will be a quick one. NBC Grill, are you familiar? Well, you are very familiar. NBC Grill is in Citywalk at Universal Orlando. It's a pub grab, burgers, chicken, hot dogs, lots of beer, lots of drinks. Over 100 TVs. I've watched a couple games there. Dave.
Absolutely. Steeler games, Eagles games. We go there every year during Horror Nights, at least once a year.
Right. For whatever that Sunday game is. But it has been the Steelers, and they lose every time you go there to watch.
A
curse.
Go to watch them before Horror Nights, they lose. It's a curse.
And you rip off your shirt and throw it in the river every time.
Yeah, every time.
And I'm sure you're also going to maybe put some time aside this upcoming Sunday, watch the big game, Super Bowl,
Absolutely
whatever the hell.
Not.
No. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, you're killing the news story then.
I hope the game goes into overtime and they play for the rest of the year and no winner is ever decided.
I'm also with you. A meteor can hit them both, take them out. I am not a fan of either team. I'm not going to say their name. Though NBC Grill has this stunning offer for you. No reservations. First good sign. Walk-ins only. And you can come watch the big game. And if you didn't know, places that who don't have the rights to the name Super Bowl can't advertise that they had the Super Bowl available. If they're not an official sponsor or product placement kind of guy, they can't say it. NBC Grill, sign out front. First come, first serve. Come watch the big game. Though, if you want to watch the big game, $100 minimum per person per seat.
Is that spending or is that
spent?
Cover. Okay.
No cover, but the cover is going to be 100 regardless. If you spend only $90 before tax and tip, automatic 26% gratuity. They're going to bump you up to the 100, and then you're going to pay a $26 tip because it's 26%, then your taxes. Not getting out of there for any less. And the game's 4-ish hours.
Now, I will say I prefer to watch games from my house. But if I was in Orlando and the Steelers were playing, I could easily spend that during the game for me, my spouse, and my kids. Is there a difference between kids?
Nope. So here's the thing. $100 per person per seat. Let's say you have 5 people. You get sat at a 6 top. There's 6 seats. That 6th seat is $100.
Even if no one's sitting there.
If no one's sitting there.
Wow.
And it doesn't
That's
matter.
a little outrageous.
Doesn't matter if a seat or seat spot is occupied. We're including, of course, our guests who may be utilizing a wheelchair or those who have younger guests in high chairs. Still $100.
So if it were just me and my spouse, I could definitely spend $200 during the Super Bowl if the Steelers were playing. If they weren't, there's no chance.
No way. You just come to my
No
place.
chance. Yeah, no chance. I'd rather watch the game from the hotel room.
I don't think. Well, yeah, because it's gonna be on a local broadcast. It's not gonna be
Absolutely.
cable.
It's going to be nationwide. Local. It's gonna be nationally televised locally, and
Yeah.
I would, if the Steelers were playing, I'd do it. Otherwise, no.
So there you have it. NBC Grill, a great option. Food. We both like the food. The beer flows. They have some in-house brews. The drink pours. If you're getting liquor, also excellent. Though $100 per person per chair, and then
The service has always been phenomenal.
oh yeah, service immaculate. Highly recommend it if you're going to go for a football game that's not the big game, Super Bowl. Grab a reservation, sit down, enjoy, hang out. Definitely recommend it before Horror Nights. Though if you're looking to watch the Super Bowl, maybe not at NBC Grill. $100 a head. When you're all said and done, probably $150 per person. Gah. No discounts, no team member, no annual pass holder, nothing. $100 flat, 26% gratuity, taxes. Yay.
Well, the servers are going to make some good money that night. I would be begging to be working that night.
Yeah, you can watch the game. There's 100 TVs, and every TV's going to have the same damn game on it.
And I'm betting a lot of people will go without the knowledge of that information and end up getting a table without knowing.
No, it's the server's duty to let them know. If there's any walk-ups available at that point, if you're stumbling in, unaware of anything, there's going to be signs out there. If they don't tell them, hey, some people have that kind of cash to sling around when you're on vacation.
I agree. You might have to do some research and go see how busy it is.
I might be there. I might be there if everything aligns and somebody needs my help that day. That will do it for news. On to our big topic of tonight: Universal's Epic Universe. You know about this? Have you heard about this new park coming in?
For sure, I've heard about it and I'm super excited.
Holy crap! This thing is going to be amazing. Last week, Universal Orlando put out a video. Put out a video January 30th, 31st. 7+ minutes of introducing Universal's Epic Universe. This park was announced back in 2019. About a 7-minute bus ride it will be from the current parks from Citywalk to Celestial Park. So it's really close. No sort of monorail system. Though announced in 2019, of course, we had the pandemic and everything got slowed down. This thing was originally supposed to open in 2023. Can you imagine already being a year into this park and have done everything at this point?
I didn't even think about that. And you had mentioned no monorails, but I believe the buses will have bus-specific lanes to get to and from the park.
Correct. Dedicated bus lane all the way down Universal Boulevard to connect to Kirkman from Citywalk, which is at Universal Orlando, Universal Studios Orlando, and Islands of Adventure into Citywalk. Bus, 7 minutes. You get to the drop-off point at Universal Epic Universe, and you flow into Celestial Park. Now, there's no Citywalk yet. There is definitely plenty of land. And once it opens, we'll be doing plenty of more content. We'll do a whole history and backdrop on it. I just want to give you a little bit of brief touch points so you understand the significance of this. This land is more, I'll say more, but for you to look at it, I get stuck in the words because it's so wonderful and extraordinary. I just get jitters. I watched the video, Dave, and I cried. Not full boo-hoo, but tears. I swelled up. This land they've bought has enough to encompass the entire 2 parks they already have, plus more.
Mm-hmm.
And that just give you the scope of this thing. 2025 opens up next year. We don't know when yet in the year. They were saying summer. Something they did change or rather updated during the video last week, said 2025. It doesn't say summer anymore, and that could be opening earlier. I don't see it opening any later than September 22nd, which starts fall, autumn, since we'll be dead into Hard Night season at that point. That seems like such an undertaking to open up a huge Hard Night season plus a new park. That opens up 2025. It's going to have 5 lands. Celestial Park is considered a land since you do need a ticket to go into that portion of the park. Mm-hmm. And there are rides in there. And we're going to jump into each of these lands as our big topic for tonight and talk about each one a little bit in depth. Otherwise, definitely recommend checking out the video that Universal officially put out last week. We can post it in the group, have some conversation on it. Though, Dave, anything you want to touch on before we jump in?
Nope, I'm ready to go.
Alrighty. So Universal's Epic Universe, announced in 2019, they started doing construction back in 2018, which, all things considered, and you take into account the pandemic, they started construction in 2018, late 2017, and they were aiming for 2023. That's 5 years. 5 years to open this sucker. From groundwork to finish. Now, they probably would have got delayed a little bit, but we'll be courteous and say a year. So 2024, and here we are then. 6 years to open up a thing of this magnitude. All cutting-edge technology, never before seen. Cutting-edge, state-of-the-art.
I will say it's going to be amazing to be there when it first opens. But with the cutting-edge technology, some of it's going to be a copy and paste like Super Nintendo will be. And Japan's getting their Donkey Kong coaster before we are.
Yeah.
But I still recall back to the day when Universal Studios Orlando opened and half the park was shut down. So
it didn't work.
That is a concern factor.
We're a far cry from 1990. We are 35 years gone from that, 34. Well, yeah, Super Nintendo will be copy and paste, though the whole entrance is going to be different. The way it's configured, the land itself is bigger, a little more spacious and breathable. And this is a great one to jump to first, since this is one people are going to be most familiar with. Super Nintendo World. It's your first one on your left if you're inside Celestial Park, and we'll loop back into that. On your left will be Super Nintendo World. Has your Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge. AR, augmented reality ride, your Yoshi ride, which is open now in Universal Japan, and it's a dark, slow-moving Omni-Mover dark ride, similar to your Haunted Mansion or Secret Life of Pets ride over in Universal Hollywood, and then you'll have the Donkey Kong Coaster Temple Run, I believe is the subtitle, and that is opening, like I think you said, soon in Japan or open now?
It's opening soon. They've already been testing it. They were testing it about 2 months ago, I think.
Yeah. This one by far is going to be the most crowded park. The most crowded land. There's no question about it. First chance on the East Coast to see this thing. I went over to West Coast Universal Hollywood last year when they had theirs open, Nintendo World and Universal Hollywood, because I couldn't wait. I had to go see it. And it's phenomenal. You're in the dang game. And they had Mario Kart over there. And while there will be a bunch of things you're going to spend money on and a lot of upcharges, and they had an early entry fee to go into Nintendo World, which we did because I wasn't waiting 3 hours on a short trip for a non-local park. Still waited half an hour. It was amazing. I wish I could do it more times. You're going to have the Power-Up Band, which is a similar kind of thing to the Wizarding World wands, where you have interactive components. Now the Power-Up Band, you can punch the question mark blocks, you can collect power-ups, you can collect points, and it all syncs to a Universal app. It syncs up with the Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge ride. Things $40 or $50. No discounts they had in Hollywood. I imagine when this park Epic opens its hole, there'll be no discounts for anybody.
Yeah, there's no chance.
No chance in hell. We can't quote that anymore, can we? That guy's gone.
Mm-hmm.
So Nintendo World, not that it's old hat, it's still going to be the best version of Super Nintendo World Universal has made. by far. It's going to have every ride in the one spot. It has enough room for at least one expansion plot. There's some talk about Luigi's Mansion. You can go on and on and on about this. But though it really seems, for scope of this particular land here, D, that they're keeping it Mario-centric. You're not going to see your Pokemon, your Zelda, your Kirby, anything outside that.
I think the problem is when you get outside of Mario, you lose the average consumer of theme parks. I understand that a lot of people have grown up with Nintendo, but for me per se, I played Mario, Super Mario on my Game Boy all the time when I was a kid. Never played anything else. I played a little bit of Pokemon, but when you got deeper into all the other Nintendo things, I just wasn't as much of a fan as I was of Mario. So everybody knows Mario. Everybody can get along with Mario or Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong being a classic arcade game and stuff. But I think once you get further into the Nintendo lore and the other things, you might start to lose the fascination and the love for it that you're going to have with Mario and Donkey Kong.
Yeah, Donkey Kong predates Mario from the arcade cabinet. Mario, I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, listeners. Mario was 1980. Though Zelda was right behind it with 1981, maybe 84, somewhere around there. Though Mario by far is going to be your big moneymaker. Though I do want to say, Dave, Pokemon is the most profitable gaming franchise of all time, as the most merchandise and product. It's the Spider-Man of video games. You know, Spider-Man's the most profitable comic book character.
And I will regress a little bit. I can see that with Pokemon. Even though I had the trading cards, I wasn't a huge fan of Pokemon, especially as the years went on. But stuff like The Legend of Zelda, that was not my go-to.
Oh, man. Well, I hope your words don't curse. That's my favorite property. It's such a thrill.
That's fun. And I had Link's crossbow on the Wii where you could shoot crossbow and stuff, but I never played the Zelda.
Of all games to say I had the crossbow training that came free with the game console. Oh no.
Free with the when you purchase the crossbow portion of
the controller. Yeah, the crossbow Wii thingy, the peripheral that you could slam your controllers in.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh god, you hurt me so bad. Yeah, my favorite Zelda game, that old classic crossbow training. The 5-minute demo? Yeah, man. All right. Nintendo World's gonna rock. You're gonna love it. You're gonna buy all the stuff, just like I'm gonna buy all this stuff. I already have my power-up band from Hollywood, and it's supposed to work here in Orlando, and I hope so, because that was not cheap.
They have a King Koopa one, right?
I believe they have Mario, Luigi, Peach, Yoshi, Toad, and Daisy. No King Koopa, no Bowser.
What?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There definitely should be more.
They should have the King Koopa band, but instead of it being a picture of King Koopa, it needs to be Jack Black wearing the King Koopa hat.
Oh, that'd be a cool Easter egg. You do because if you use the power-up band, you do certain things in a certain order. Other things unlock within the land, at least in Hollywood. You do a very complicated code input, or you have to hit this block at this certain time of day at this certain moment. And you have to do it in this order, and then Peaches starts playing.
Oh, perfect!
That would be so cool.
Actually, and I am excited for as much
as Peaches.
I love you. I actually always said I would never be too excited for Nintendo, but if it puts it in perspective, I actually have watched the new Super Mario movie at least 10 times. I have an infant, so he loves watching that. He loves all the he's a little over a year. He loves watching all those cartoons and stuff. So I'll put that on in the background all the time. But I put it on because it gets me excited for Epic Universe,
And that's why we're here. That's going to generate a lot of conversations, a lot of topics, and give us a lot of things to show off and get you all excited about. Nintendo's going to rule. You're going to be ready there with your power-up band. $40 or so. That's your first pickup of this trip around Epic Universe. Which one do you want to go next, Dave? You want to go to Dark Universe or How to Train Your Dragon a la Bert? We're going to save
We're
Dark
saving
Universe.
Dark Universe. We save the best for last.
All right.
Let's go to How to Train Your Dragon.
All right. Counterclockwise, we're taking our trip, our first visit here to the virtual discussion of Epic Universe. How to Train Your Dragon, Olive Burke. When this one was first shown, I was a little hesitant. How to Train Your Dragon. The last movie for that was The Hidden World.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse my typing.
You're good. You good typer.
Oh, I type good. Which this was 2019. That movie came out. Why type long? One good, do short. How to Train Your Dragon 3, The Hidden World. The subtitle came out in 2019. Same year they announced Epic Universe. Now, I don't know. Contracts come in place. Universal does own DreamWorks. DreamWorks made How to Train Your Dragon. There is a How to Train Your Dragon live action coming out next year or the year after that is remaking it.
There's been a lot of spin-offs too, cartoons
that are still airing new episodes. You are right.
Correct.
You are right. So this maybe not the worst thing. And some of the stuff inside this area, which from the concept art, you can see this is not really speculation. You see what's going on inside the art. It looks really cool. It's this huge land you enter in. It's right from the movies, and I believe at least the first two. I can't remember the third one, unfortunately. It's not the best one. The first two are way better.
I have not seen the third one.
Yeah. I would skip it. And then that's another thing to keep in mind. Where do these particular lands fall in line with the timeline if it's important? Now, Super Nintendo World, not really a timeline. Harry Potter does have a timeline, and both of the current lands, Diagon Alley and Hogsmeade, have a timeline placement. How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk, rather, not Island. Maybe not so much a timeline, though. I believe in the first or second one, they destroy Berk. So maybe it has to be before it. You enter in, opens up to these huge Viking statues, and there's a giant lagoon. Place looks awesome. It may not be the place I spend most of my time. I already know where that's going to be. And it's not anything we've talked about so far.
No.
But Isle of Berk, it's going to have, it looks like this little boat ride, which, hey, it's not the most popular thing to build these days because of how much maintenance is needed for water attractions. Though a boat ride's always appreciated by myself. I know Dave loves them. And a little chance to cool off if there's a small water feature. Now, we're not looking for Pluto's Bilge Bar. What's the actual name of that ride? Bilge Rats Rapids?
Bilge Rats Barges.
Bilge Rats Barges. Pluto's Bilge.
Pluto's Bilge Rat Barges.
Let's call it Popeye. Or Ripsaw Falls. Dudley Do-Right's Ripsaw Falls. Ripsaw. Those two get you soaking wet.
Soaking wet.
Yeah, let your stink foot really soak it up.
I can sit there and ride Jurassic Park all day, but I have to do a water day to ride
dedicated
Ripsaw Falls or Popeyes.
Right. Now, the water ride, who knows what kind of effects will be. It does not appear from the concept art, though subject to change. You always got to be wary of it. Subject to change concept art, that the water effects could be extravagant or whatever else may be incorporated. I'm sure they'll include some shooting elements or some spraying elements that the other guests can pay a hot $1 and get you wet. Though it looks neat. Though the other one that we've definitely seen is the roller coaster. Now, it won't be I don't believe it's going to be as thrilling as the Celestial Park coaster. Has already been advertised as the premier coaster in the opening day lineup. As every land has a coaster except Harry Potter.
To me, it's putting off Hagrid's vibes. Family friendly,
thrilling coaster though.
Yeah, family friendly, family friendly, thrilling coaster. As you listeners can tell, as the podcast goes on, we've consumed more and more adult beverages. So the more you listen, the more interesting it's going to get.
Maybe you're just an idiot. You really had trouble with that 3D printing last time.
That's like 7 syllables, so.
Well, it's the alliteration. Too many of the same words.
Yeah. Family 3D print. Yeah.
Family 3D printing Hagrid Dragon Ride. Yeah. I don't know if that particular coaster is going to be the groundbreaking attraction that Hagrid was, with all the elements incorporated. No spoiler. We don't want to ruin that for you if you have not been on yet. That said, this land, I believe, has 3 attractions. The other one is a flying one, a little bit of a Dumbo crossover with... Oh gosh, what am I there's another ride. It's over in Hershey Park. It's kind of like a flyer ride. The particular one I'm thinking about,
water coaster,
not the water coaster. This is a dry ride and it's a sky carousel, or no, sorry, it's a sky tower. On the top, there's a bunch of spokes. There are guide wires coming down from it onto the ride vehicle, and you can turn the fin left and right to either lean left or right.
Yes, I've been on attractions like that.
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in that similar vein. Though everything here is really incorporating the dragon aspect. You're flying a dragon, you're riding a dragon.
It's a basic flat ride you can find at most Cedar Fair, Six Flags type parks.
Yes, nothing crazy though. It's gonna be heavily themed. I'm sure there'll be a awesome soundtrack. How to Train Your Dragon always has great music. And the big food hall is gonna be in there. One of the big, I believe. It will be either in the, if I had to guess. Now, we don't like to speculate on Horror Nights, though I wouldn't call this speculation. These are my hopes. It's not speculation, it's hopes. I hope How to Train Your Dragon food is in the big great hall, and it's either similar to, in Diagon Alley in, oh no, what's that restaurant called?
The Leaky Cauldron.
Leaky Cauldron. They have that big feast you can share as a family. Or
they also have that at the Three Broomsticks.
At Three Broomsticks, the big feast, or it's a buffet style. We've been losing out on buffets in the Universal parks. You don't see them outside the hotels, and I can only really think of the one over at Hard Rock Hotel. They have the breakfast buffet in the kitchen.
Sapphire Falls has Amatistas that has a buffet.
Oh, yeah. You're right. Which is great, because that's right by the boat, isn't it?
Yep, you eat your buffet and then go
hobble on.
And there's a bar right upstairs too.
Now, hold on. Let's go back to that point real quick about bars. Now, you can read the permits of where bars have been built in Celestial Park. I'll leave it to you if you care about that part. Nintendo World, real quick. Not a single bar in there in Hollywood. I can't see them doing one in any Nintendo themed area or park because of the kid centricity of it. Yeah.
Could be a contractual issue too.
Yeah. There are Nintendo games where there is alcohol prevalent, though I just don't see Nintendo relinquishing those rights. Ira Burke, those Vikings are drinking grog all day long. There's got to be at least one bar in here, right?
Yep, and Florida Brewing Company is probably going to provide us with a wonderful beer that probably tastes just like Hogshead Ale. Because that seems to be the go-to.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll be a unique flavor profile, though it's definitely going to be a darker ale, a lager. You want to really simulate amber. You want to really simulate that grog feel. Though back in those Viking days, grog was a little thicker. Maybe not so. It was more of that mead consistency, though not sweet at all. It was just a way to get blasted.
And I am so excited to go to this new theme park and drink around the universe.
That's gonna be fantastic. I myself did read about the permits. There's a lot of bars in Celestial Park.
Oh, there's got to be, because aren't there a bunch of shops there and restaurants?
Well, yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there after Potter, because we'll save our favorite for last, of course.
Yep. With what you said about how the Train Your Dragon coaster might not be that popular, might not be the big thing, It's the coasters like that I end up loving, because just like Horror Nights, I know we're not on Horror Nights, but a house that I can go through multiple times without long waits, I end up enjoying more than a house that's more detailed, better scares, just because the experience and the atmosphere. And so maybe that might be a coaster that the wait's not as long as the Celestial Park coaster.
Don't get me confused. The line's going to be long. I'm saying it's not going to be as thrilling or maybe as exciting as the Celestial Park one.
Let me live to dream. I will tell you right now, my favorite ride at park opening of Epic Universe will be the shortest line, because I will ride it multiple times.
Well, we'll see about those lines. Yeah. Don't skip lines. Don't be that guy, friends. If you have a legitimate way, i.e. paying for that big boy VIP, do it. We may see you there in line. All right. Sorry, I'm both crazy over here. I'm trying to be more considerate I'm just trying to breathe them out.
I can hear it.
Oh, I'm not screaming like last week. I'm breathing them out.
They're not inappropriate this week.
Yeah, apologize for that, friends. Hopefully that didn't turn you off completely. Harry Potter is our next land. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic is our area that we're focusing on. Previous entries, 2010s, the Wizarding World. It wasn't called Wizarding World back then. It was just Harry Potter, Hogsmeade. Then in 2014, yeah.
Yes.
Yep, 2014, it became the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. Same nomenclature was added to Hogsmeade. We now enter 2025, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Ministry of Magic. This is a peculiar one for me here, buddy, because it says from 1920s Paris to the 1990s British Ministry, explore international wizarding communities and the magic that connects them. I just don't know about this one.
When you were speaking timeline, I knew this was going to be where I had to say this one's going to be messed up. And how many years have we been rumored to get a Ministry of Magic attraction or a Fantastic Beasts land? You know,
since the Ministry of Magic, since Diagon was announced, they were talking about, will that be the next thing? And that was always rumored to take the Fear Factor live stage spot. And then Fantastic Beasts since the first movie came out.
Since the first movie came out. So it's kind of crazy that they just kind of lump it together. But I can see that because I have tried to watch Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. I'm not a huge fan. I need to sit down without any social media devices, without any distractions, and try and watch it again because I have not been a fan of that franchise. It just doesn't capture the magic that
I think you're okay. I think you're all right. That first one is pretty good, and then the second one is a big oh boy, huff puff sigh, and then the third one I haven't even seen the third one. I can't be bothered.
Well, they all just came out on Peacock, so I will be sitting down to watch that. So
no, you gotta toss your phone across the room. Can't hobble over to it easy. I don't know what you do with the baby. Probably not toss that one either. But
oh no, I just let him crawl wherever he wants to go because I can't chase him these days. They just released all those on Peacock, so
yeah.
But they did take all the Back to the Future movies off. Which
what? How they own the damn movie?
They with Peacock, and I know this is getting kind of off topic, but there's a lot of they don't have much of a selection, and they put good movies on there, and then they take them off to put other movies on. And I'm like, just leave them on there. It's a streaming service. Leave them on there. They're your movies.
Oh, those big wigs and the contractual writers know way more than we do, and they got to make their money, pinch the penny. You know, a penny to them. Where I'll leave that penny on the ground.
Peacock's a seasonal platform. During the summer, you'll see Jaws on there. You know, during right after summer, you'll see Back to the Future on there. You know, the September, October time frame when it occurred. You know, and then during Halloween, you'll see the classic monsters make an appearance on there. So it's just
and the Blumhouse Universal Halloweens.
Yeah, those are all
that are the first one's good.
Yeah,
and the second one's good if you take out the hospital bit and evil dies tonight. But
actually,
no, hold on.
I wait. Oh, you finish your thought? Or
finish your. I'm not telling me to finish my thought. Finish your thought.
No, I thought you said let me finish my thought. But
let me finish.
Okay, go ahead and finish. No,
all right, finish. You finish.
I waited a while to watch Halloween Ends, and I actually watched it on Peacock for the first time.
Oh God!
And I enjoyed that more than I enjoyed.
I guess this show's over after 2 episodes. I'm out.
But let me explain really quick.
Oh, let him finish.
I enjoyed that movie because I did not look at it as a Halloween movie because of the reviews. If you look at that movie as not a Michael Myers Halloween movie, it's a pretty decent film. If you think back, wow, that was supposed to be a Michael Myers Halloween film, you're going to go, oh, that was trash.
Yes, because it has Halloween in the title, and it's the third movie after 2 Michael Myers films. How am I supposed to think otherwise?
Correct. All I was saying was I enjoyed the film as a standalone film. I did not enjoy it as a Halloween film.
No, it's hard for me to split that away. If it was just focused on Corey or Cody, whatever the hell his name is, as a spin-off anthology like John Carpenter always wanted, Halloween 4, here's Corey. He kills kids. Maybe fine. Though I will say this is a resounding remark on our excitement for Ministry of Magic, since we're not really talking about it.
Yeah,
I don't know about this one. No, it's fine.
I agree. Unless the attraction blows my mind, I'm kind of bland about it. Even though it will pop off, it will be massively popular, and I think opening day it's going to have the most massive wait times.
No, Nintendo, then probably Harry Potter. I would say Nintendo first. Because Nintendo's on your left.
We'll have to make a gentleman's bet for a beer because if you look historically, going to Universal, they open up a new attraction.
Yeah.
Not much flow, a decent amount of flow, a consistent 2 to 3 hour wait time. They open up a Harry Potter attraction, 10-hour wait times.
Yeah,
I just think
you're not wrong. You're not wrong because VelociCoaster opened great, best coaster in the park, best coaster in the state. Because I've not ridden Iron Gwazi yet.
Mm-hmm.
Not a 10-hour
Jurassic
wait.
Park has a huge following too,
right?
But I agree. I think Nintendo might be able to give them a run for its money. So we'll have to make a gentleman's bet for a beer.
Oh, we'll put a poll in the Facebook group once we get some people in there. But yeah,
I was just
absolutely.
looking. We actually got a couple of likes tonight.
Holy crap, we're blowing up. Though, to close out on Harry Potter Ministry of Magic, 1920s Paris, you can see from the concept art and the flyover in the video, we're not talking about drone footage, the whole facade and interior land is 1920s Paris. Really leads you to believe that the rides are transporting you to the 1990s British Ministry. 1990s is when the Harry Potter franchise is set, if you didn't know. And they're taking us from Paris and just pretty much saying, Fantastic Beasts don't mean a whole lot. Let's just get back to the Harry Potter. And that really is, like, to me, not the greatest approach. Either focus on the British Ministry or double down on Fantastic Beasts, even though the last 2 movies got canceled.
At this point in theme parks, you have to have cohesiveness, and that's not cohesive enough for me.
No, when you're walking in and the whole land is Paris, but every attraction, whatever it may be, takes you to Britain, why even bother? I understand. You've already done Diagon Alley, you've done Hogsmeade as your lands and your facades, and you need something else, but everything takes you somewhere else. Even the food place is supposed to be over in the freaking Feast Great Hall of Hogwarts. Dude, Hogwarts is over in the other park. I was just there.
What this screams to me is, yeah, we want to touch on Fantastic Beasts, but we're afraid it'll flop. So we're going to throw in...
It's already been proven by the movie box.
Yeah. We're going to incorporate the regular stuff back into it too.
All right. Celestial Park. This is your big central area. You do need a ticket to go in. This is not like Citywalk. You do need a ticket to go through the portal and get into it. This is your big central area. It is the cosmic heart of Epic Universe. And this place looks huge based on the video. You have 3 different attractions. I only count 2, though they say they have 3. You have 2 anchor restaurants, a bunch of bars based on the permits, shops, and of course, your portals to the other 4 lands. This place looks actually really, really cool. You better have water lagoon shows or fountain shows, similar to World of Color over in Disney's California Adventure, or what they have in the lagoons sometimes over at Universal Studios Orlando. You're going to have also splash pad features for the kids, similar to Citywalk already at Universal Orlando. That's one of the attractions they consider. They're part of the 3. Not for me, though there's a splash pad. The other one is the Constellation Carousel. You know, I'm not a huge carousel guy. I know families love these rides because you can stand with your kids, though this one does up the ante a little bit. It kind of combines the Alien Space Saucer Swirl, the ass ride from Hollywood
Alien
Studios.
swirling saucer.
Yes, ass.
Ass.
They include some ass. Ass mechanics. Oh god. From that ride over in Hollywood Studios MGM. So your vehicles go up and down, and they're also spinning, and then the whole platform's spinning, and then there's individual. It does look kind of neat. So it says guest carriages include celestial lions, dragons, peacocks, and more. Each carriage, your ride vehicle, turns 360 degrees while lifting riders up to 6 feet in the air. Could be neat. I'll ride it at least once.
Wow.
And then the big ride, of course, is the Starfall Racers. This is the icon coaster of the entire park as it opens. 62 miles an hour max speed as a dual launch coaster with 2 trains racing against each other, similar to your old Dueling Dragons and Dragon Challenge. Heights up to 133 feet in the air and 5,000 track length. This sucker is moving. And it looks really cool. Beyond that, or let's jump into a little bit of talk on these before we get into the last bits, and then finally, Dark Universe.
So let me start this off by saying, discarding any rumors, the fact was that when they built Rip Ride Rocket going out into Citywalk, they were supposed to have an upcharge where you could pay to ride Rip Ride Rocket at night while enjoying the nightlife of Citywalk.
Right, one ride.
So let me ask you this. Is there anything outside of Celestial Park as far as nightlife is concerned?
No, nothing is outside the park at this time.
I hate bringing up rumors, but there's rumors with facial recognition technology, like the way they're not really rumors. They've already incorporated them into the parks.
Yeah.
We're seeing nowadays. So do you see them opening up nightlife and then having the attractions still run, but having the bars and the clubs open and the restaurants open, but keeping Celestial Park open with that, kind of like they were going to do with Rocket, and just closing down the other parks? And then, where you used to have to buy a Citywalk party pass to get into all the clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it includes these attractions and the clubs. You can't get into the other parks, into the other portals because of facial recognition.
Right. So you do still, as of now, from the preview video, there is a portal to get into Celestial Park, which means you have to have a day ticket. They're not going to scan you at each individual land. That we talked about this before, but prior to the show even starting, and conceptualization, it just didn't make sense. It's such a pain in the butt.
Correct.
Now, you do still need a ticket to get into Celestial Park. What I have been thinking about is that they could open Celestial Park to anybody after 6 p.m. Not when they open, not for a few months, maybe in a year, but similar to Citywalk now. If it's after 6 p.m., you get to park for free at Citywalk, and you can go to any of the clubs, movies, restaurants, shopping, what have you, right? Mm-hmm. As far as the rides are concerned, they would need to have the facial recognition at each ride, and that can back up the line really bad. I just don't see them making that happen. How do you separate the people or those particular rides shut down at 6 p.m.? That doesn't make sense either.
And also, as someone who's had a lot of dealings with Citywalk in my past, I know for a fact that there are a lot of people that get way too inebriated in Citywalk and have to be wheeled out in a wheelchair or escorted out off property.
Uh-huh.
Not from...
Not you. No, you weren't wheeled out. You walked on your own volition. I saw you.
Yes.
Yeah. You there was a lot of other things, but
I've also had to assist people in getting out of Citywalk, if you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
But you probably wouldn't be able to let the people coming to Citywalk on an attraction unless you wanted to be cleaning up gamma spills every 5 minutes. So
right. That said, I don't see the rides being open or them letting him into Celestial Park for free at any time. You need a ticket. Now, I will say they may keep the restaurants and bars open late, though the rides will shut down when the land shut down.
I agree, but if they don't open that up for non-paying customers, they're going to be losing out on a lot of money.
They will be fine for several months after opening.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be an issue. I'm sure they're already thinking about it as well.
I want to go party at the bars and the nightlife, and I'm not worried about the rides, but I want to go party at the bars and nightlife at Celestial Park at night.
No, fully agree. I don't think there's going to be clubs at this one to Citywalk, and that will bring us into the 2 restaurants they have in Celestial Park. And these are your anchors. And I believe the Atlantic is your big boy one, your high price seafood restaurant. This is across the shivering waters of Neptune Park. It overlooks the water. Undersea culinary fantasy. Indulge in exceptional seafood and steaks, or enjoy a cocktail at the lively Aquaria Bar. Now, I'm not the biggest seafood guy. I do like a good swordfish steak, some crab, lobster, but they also have steaks. And the concept art of this looks crazy. 3 different levels. Looks like you're undersea inside the ocean or a large aquarium. And Aquaria Bar sounds badass. I'm going to get plenty of drinks there.
I agree. Aquarium Park. I think this is going to be. We're thinking this is going to be an aquarium like at SeaWorld where you go eat in the restaurant. There's an aquarium there.
Well, you look at the art. The bottom tier level of the restaurant is almost submerged into one of the bigger fountains of Celestial Park. There's not going to be wildlife intentionally put in there. Though if you look up inside the restaurant, you'll see figures and probably not animatronics, but very realistic, fantastical undersea creatures above you.
Oh, I will say Mark Woodbury did make it a point to point out that this is going to be like an actual park. It's going to be beautiful with tree life and fountains, and it's going to be like an actual park. Oh, I think it's going to be very pleasant.
Yeah, you'll want to spend time there instead of, all right, rush through Citywalk, get me to a park, or this one. Mm-hmm. Also, because Citywalk, majority of places are closed until 4 p.m. anyway. Can't get a drink unless you're at the pop-up, which, again, there's plenty of pop-up permanent bar fixtures in Celestial. Though they're going to have opportunities to do plenty of upcharge events in Celestial that are walking tours or some just information. Though, I don't know if you're aware of this here, Dave. Celestial Park was originally called Celestial Forest. And I think because of the scaled down forest and garden and foliage and green fixtures, they knocked it down to a park because it was supposed to be all trees and you're walking through a forest.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah. Because that one definitely. And then finally in Celestial Park, you also have the other large restaurant. This is right outside. Oh, I almost forgot the other big guy. We got the hotel. This thing, the other big restaurant that's been announced, the Blue Dragon Pan Asian restaurant. You can enjoy authentic Pan Asian, Chinese, Japanese, and Thai food, or curl up with a cocktail at the Tiger Bar. And the Tiger Bar looks so freaking cool.
That will be my go-to.
I agree. That one's going to be my spot.
Lover.
Yeah, I will scarf down everything they got, bomb-ass drinks. It looks really cool. It's like you walked right in, of course. So and that one's anchored onto Universal's Grand Helios Hotel. I don't think that's the actual name, but
I think that is right. I'm not 100% sure, but that sounds right.
Helios. I gotta double check because I want to be accurate. We are supposed to be knowledgeable individuals. Universal's I always do Grand Helios. It's Universal Helios Grand Hotel, the HGH. I always get stuck on that one. So this one's anchored right outside the Helios Grand Hotel. The Helios Hotel is the head point of the park. It's in the park, 500 rooms, definitely a deluxe resort. Probably won't have that included express pass similar to your other deluxes, Hard Rock, Portofino. Pacific? Rural Pacific. This time Pacific Bay. No, it's Cabana Bay. But Blue Dragon Pan Asian, can't wait. You're going to have 3 different ethnicities of food there for some fusion. Really, really good. And everything we're talking about, once again, friends, is on the official Universal Orlando website. You can see the concept art. You can watch the Mark Woodbury video, and you're good to go. And then finally here, Dave, closing out the show, Dark Universe. Final land of Universal's Epic Universe. It's in the top left corner. We're going counterclockwise. You enter into Celestial Park. On your left immediate, bottom left corner is Super Nintendo World. Counterclockwise, bottom right, How to Train Your Dragon, Isle of Berk. Continuing along to the top right, Wizarding World of Harry Potter. At the head at 12 noon, you have Helios Grand Hotel and the Pan Asian Restaurant. Top left, 10 a.m., Dark Universe. What do you got? What are your thoughts? Give me immediate reaction when you saw this.
Immediate reaction is I truly believe that this land was going to get scrapped because I felt like they were going to be too afraid to bring it in because you're going to have less kids wanting to go in that land. So I was like, this land's going to get scrapped, even though that's what everybody wants. And I was shocked as shit when they announced it was actually going to happen.
Me as well. And to double down, triple down on the Dark Universe name, many people are aware they try to do a shared universe movie with Dark Universe as the overarching name, starting with the 2017 Mummy with Tom Cruise. And it was supposed to explode out with additional people. Russell Crowe was going to be one of them, and then you had Jekyll and Hyde and so on, right?
Did it not start with Dracula Untold?
Well, that was the first time they tried it. Jekyll Untold, and that Frankenstein movie they tried to do as well. So they tried both of those and did not take off. Tried again with the Mummy. Also did not take off. Then we had that excellent Invisible Man remake with Elizabeth Moss.
Yes.
Excellent. Super good movie. Though that one was more of a one-off. It wasn't supposed to be incorporated. Though Dark Universe finally hitting is going to be real, existing at Universal's Epic Universe. And it's using the characters from the Dark Universe movies they were trying to incorporate and have pop off. We're having the experiments of Dr. Victoria Frankenstein. This is a descendant of Victor Frankenstein. I believe his great niece or great niece, something of that sort.
Okay, I did not know that.
Right. Now the concept art... Sorry, go ahead.
I'm hoping this provides new life to the Dark Universe because I've heard many times that they were going to try and do it again. They're going to try and do it again, but I haven't seen anything. So hopefully this really kicks it off and we can see the Dark Universe come back to fruition.
But do it like one of the houses in the past. Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein Lives. Excellent house. If you're not familiar with that particular Horror Nights house, Bride of Frankenstein is witnessing the Frankenstein creature's death, and she goes ahead and captures all the other Universal monsters, saps their life force, and brings them back to life. So fucking cool.
It's great. It was a sequel to the actual movie.
Right.
So it was great. You know, it was its own story.
Right. You can draw plenty of movie inspirations from any of these classic monster houses that we've had recently. Now, past 2 years, I will say, a little convoluted storyline. Though Bride of Frankenstein, I say, is definitely a winner. Though, let's take a page out of Disney's book. Make a movie based off the ride, though this one's a little bit more different. You made the classic Monsters movies, now you're making the Dark Universe land with the main focal ride going to be based on Victoria Frankenstein, and from the concept art release, you have Frankenstein's creature, Dracula, but you make a movie based off this ride with Victoria, creature, and Dracula. Now, also looking for the concept art, they have removed the theater. There was supposed to be a large theater show when they originally announced Epic Universe in Dark Universe, which would have been so cool. I don't even know what it would have been, as long as it's not fiends from Busch Gardens. I don't want sexy Frankenstein running around with his bolt hanging out. I don't need it. I couldn't conceptualize it. Maybe that's why. Because we had Beetlejuice's Graveyard Review. That was more comedy. I would want a serious stunt, action, effect show. Not so much Sinbad stunts, but a good show. Good effects involved. Unfortunately, that is gone. That is gone now.
As long as it's not the Creature from the Black Lagoon musical they had in Hollywood.
You're right. Spider-Man Bring on the Dark or whatever the hell it was called. We'll put a Spider-Man robot that crashes into the wall in there.
Oh, God.
And yeah, Dark Universe, of course, there's going to be drinks. People love it. 1920s. There's going to be monster rides. And there is we don't know what ride it is, but there's a coaster ride that there is drone footage of it testing out today.
Mm-hmm.
And don't know what the ride is. Looks like there's a show building and the coaster goes out. 20 people per ride. It's a family coaster. Now, Dave and I both watched this video from launch till it came back in. 50 seconds. Not stupendous.
Looks like one of your run-of-the-mill spinning coasters that they've had over the last few years.
Though hopefully with a really cool animatronic.
Hopefully.
Which, why wouldn't they? How are you going to put a plain old...
Universal...
They're going to build that building, right?
Putting a new attraction in without some sort of thematic elements to it.
Right. They put in a building the coaster passes through twice, purposefully. There has to be something. And I'm going to turn it over to Flight of the Hippogriff, a family coaster. Used to be the Flying Unicorn over in Lost Continent, turned to Flight of the Hippogriff when Harry Potter took over with Hogsmeade. And I was trying to find the ride time. Looks like this ride is about 2 minutes and 15 seconds. And this other family coaster is... Or no, sorry. Let me... No, it's not that long. I apologize.
There's no way.
No. So, a minute... Let's say a minute 50... Now, I'm looking at the video I have pulled up.
And that's with the lift hill, though.
I am calculating in with the lift hill. It's from dispatch to return to station where you pause and the lap bars lift up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at about 90 seconds. Maybe a little less.
A minute and 30 seconds.
Yep. Minute 30 for Flight of the Hippogriff, which is a ride that was retrofitted. That ride originally opened in 2000 as the Flying Unicorn. They redid it, a little bit of landscaping and some facade work, and they added the Hippogriff animatronic, which, great at the time. It was super cool. But the Flying Unicorn was 2000. Flight of the Hippogriff was 2010.
My only hope with that, and it's highly unlikely, is that they don't have the show scene ready, so they're not pausing the coasters in the barn. Or
they're just testing the entire track.
They're just testing the track
and the launch.
Just running them through. But maybe there's a pause inside the building with an animatronic sequence or some sort of show sequence that makes the attraction a little longer.
Yeah. Beyond that, no idea what the ride is about. Don't know what it's themed after. We know the big ride because of the characters they showed in the video, though.
There's many rumors on what this attraction is, so most people assume they know. And if you want to go look it up, you can. But we're not going to sit here and speculate and say what we think it is.
No, we'll save that for the Facebook group. We can yik-yak on there all day.
Yeah, but there's definitely rumors and speculation on what this attraction is. We say we don't know, but we don't know until anything's officially announced.
Right, and that's where we're talking about. We are unfiltered conversation on what's happening. So that's your Epic Universe, and that's opening up in 2025. You can currently reserve rooms at the Universal Stella Noa Resort and the Universal Terra Luna Resort. There are two 750-room resorts, two separate ones, so that's 1,500 rooms together. Right outside Epic Universe. They're not in the park like the Helios Grand, though they're right outside. I don't know if they're going to let you walk, though it's a very, very short bus ride. You can book those now, opening January 21st, 25 for Stella Nova, and February 25th, 25 Terra Luna. Those are going to be your best bets if you're trying to get a room without a vacation package. The opening date of Epic Universe has not been announced, though you can bet that Dave and I, my buddy D, will be there opening day if we can help it.
Oh, we will be. Most likely. We've got a lot of stuff coming up this next year, so we'll see how the budget looks.
It's just money. You'll make more of it, my great-grandmother would say.
Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. All right, D, is that all you got for today? I think we did pretty good.
We got to hit a quick wall of shame. Real quick.
Oh, right. Wall of shame.
Wall of shame. So if you guys don't know what the Wall of Shame is, we've been on social media looking at posts and comments and stuff, and we're going to go through, and everybody has been through a Facebook post and been like, what is this person talking about? Or why would they even say that? So we're going to point out your flaws and bring it to the table and let you know that you're a dum-dum.
And we see you.
If you're a listener, be careful what you post on social media, or you could end up on the wall of...
We don't say names, we just say where we find it.
Yep. And if you ever hear yourself on the Wall of Shame and want to say, hey, that was me on the Wall of Shame, you can message Park Talk Radio, and I will tell you you're a dum-dum. We love you anyway. So, B, would you like to go first with your Wall of Shame?
Yeah, buddy. I didn't look I looked kind of hard to find something fun. There was one that had 108 comments, 69 reactions. Nice, brother. On Disney pass holder page.
69, dudes.
69. Be excellent. So this is not an uncommon topic. There's a brand new magnet released, the Hey Hey magnet, the little chicken from Moana. I'm sure you're familiar with this one. Yeah, I was gonna say. They've recently released a magnet, and they release these as part of the pass holder program at the big parks, Universal, Disney, SeaWorld. It's a free little gift. Limited quantity, people get really up in arms when they run out. We're not at that stage yet, friends. They have not run out yet. Though, here they are, this individual, quote, "To the piece of garbage that stole my new Hey Hey magnet from my car today at Animal Kingdom, I hope your vacation turns to trash just like you. The magic is gone." Oh my god, this is not an uncommon comment. First off, Cardi,
you gotta be
exactly. Be grateful. If you wanted to keep it so bad, put it on your fridge, just like I do. All my theme park magnets on my fridge. I'm not going to desecrate my car.
The other night.
Yeah,
all your magnets were there.
I'm not desecrating my car with a junky theme park magnet that goes on the beer fridge.
Yeah. And I didn't take any of your magnets that I remember, but I don't think I did.
You may have taken my soap.
I didn't take any soap.
Someone took soap.
This is a conversation for another time. So.
I mean, and of course, the majority of reactions are the laughing face, which I guess you're considered a bully now if you're laughing at someone on Facebook. And then all these comments are ragging on the individual. Let me see. Let me give you some quick ones on this, and we'll give D a chance here. That's why they don't go on cars. Put the magnets on the refrigerator. Surprise, that never happens, /S. This person, oh, thank you for reminding me. Just checked mine. It's still on the fridge.
You gotta love when people post on Facebook hoping for everybody to be on their side and team up with them, and and everybody just, you gotta love the generic comment in there. Oh, this didn't go he thought it would, buddy.
Oh, yeah, and there's always a GIF and some nonsense. Yep. I always laugh at these ones. I complain about the stupid magnet. This magnet.
Michael Jackson eating popcorn.
Oh yeah, classic GIFs. This particular magnet, I don't know, but for whatever reason, this may be the going rate. Hey magnet on eBay, $50 for a free magnet. People are paying $50, 50.
Holy crap!
Yeah, we should go steal some magnets, buddy.
That's more than I paid for my 1991 never used Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure glass mug that still has it's glow in the dark. It's still has the original price tag on it for $12. I paid less for this piece of history than people are on eBay paying for a magnet.
A free magnet. I was trying to find this particular post because I saw this the other day. People are flying 9 hours day trip to fly and grab their magnet and then fly back home. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's a free freaking magnet. Pay the $50.
My wife's got a Cameo. I'm just gonna have her make a bunch of counterfeit ones and sell them.
Hey, that's how we're gonna make it here. That's how we're gonna afford that Helios Grand.
That's if we don't get any Patreon members, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah, Patreon's a long way off. We're hoping someone buys us out. We're ready to sell out to you. All right, D, close us out. Give us your wall of shame, and let's get out of here. We went long again.
Oh, yeah, but we had a good time, and
Absolutely.
People are going to love listening to this. So for my wall of shame, I'll make it quick and simple. somebody asked on the Universal Pass Holder page, they asked if anybody had ever seen a rollback or been on a rollback for the VelociCoaster, which is, that's not shameful. That's a very, pleasant question. I've been on VelociCoaster nearing 70 times now, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Never had a rollback or seen a rollback. Have you ever seen a rollback or had a rollback on VelociCoaster?
Not VelociCoaster. I've never been on a rollback on any coaster. And if you're not familiar with a rollback, it's coasters that have those large top hats where they get just enough speed to get over the top of it. So you get a slow rollover. You get that really cool vantage point of seeing the park. But it's just enough energy for you to get launched over. Now, it just depending on conditions, weather, wind, what have you, it may not top that top hat and it comes back down. So you roll back. Then you get launched again, which is really cool. To your question, no, I've never experienced it. I did see one happen over at Cedar Point at Top Thrill when it was still going on.
Yes, I have seen Top Thrill with a rollback. I've never experienced being on a coaster, but it was very rare there. So, most of the comments on this post were, oh, no, I haven't seen it. No, I haven't experienced it. It's very rare. Or, the average person would say, oh, I've seen it happen once or twice. I've never been on it. That was 90% of your comments.
Yep.
Well, you have one person on there that I can't quote it because I didn't write it down when I saw it, but they said something along the lines, or I've been on the coaster many, many times and gotten rollbacks on VelociCoaster. And I'm like,
plural,
many, many times.
So rare.
And I'm like, you're full of shit. And
you liar. Good day, sir.
The people berating this person were like, what is your definition of many times? One, because there's no way. You'd have to be the luckiest person in the world to have more than one rollback on VelociCoaster, let alone many, many times.
Yeah.
But this person was adamant that it happened to them many, many times. And then when they were called out by other people on the post, they said, you don't live my life. You weren't there. You don't know what I've been through. Yeah, but we all damn sure know you haven't had many, many rollbacks on VelociCoaster. So that just blew my mind when I saw that they thought they could lie to the masses when their lie wasn't even a good lie.
Oh, he had to show off. He was on social media. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Was that you, Betty Charles?
No, it was not.
Oh, okay.
No,
that's a good one. Nothing like lying about something you did for internet clout. No one would do that. Absolutely not. Not me.
No.
Never.
Not once.
Well, Dave, I think that's going to wrap it up for our show today. We'll get this cleaned up a little bit. It'll be good. It'll be a good one. Lots of information. Very informative. A little less comedy than last time, though. That's the show. A little comedy, a little fun, and information throughout the thing. You got any closing remarks?
Yep. I want to say go ahead and start planning your Halloween time events because Horror Nights is right around the corner. We will be there together this year. Usually it's multiple nights a year, but this year we'll be there on October 31st wearing our Park Talk Radio t-shirts.
What?
One, hey, I've had a few drinks. We're throwing this out there.
Oh, yeah.
If you want one, here soon, they will be available to purchase. And you can meet up with us and wear your Park Talk Radio t-shirt. And we can all have a good time. And we will fly by you while we're on our VIP tour. But nevertheless, we can meet up for drinks beforehand or whatever. But I just want to go and throw that out there, start playing. We're going to do a Halloween night.
Oh, perfect. I love the confidence. Not even 2 full episodes and you're already hawking our shit.
Confidence is key.
Confidence
These Park
is
Talk
key.
Radio t-shirts are going to be, that was me doing a kissy noise.
Oh, that's not popping the wiener out of your mouth. Got it.
That too.
Done.
That too.
Well, thank you for listening. Be sure to check us out anytime you want on all social medias as well. You can find our podcast at your local podcast dealer or app. Social medias, every single platform, Twitter or X, TikTok, Facebook, Snapchat, all the stuff. Check us out. Join our group. Like the page. Both are the same name, Park Talk Radio. You like the page, you join the group. Join the group to converse and like the page to give us those good engagements. If you want to text us or leave us a voicemail and we'll play it on the show or talk about your text on the show, you can do that as well. 407-490-2220. Once again, you can text or call. Your voicemail will be played on the show. If you'd like to email, ask us questions, or criticize us, or if you have some insight or you want to drop a hint, we always love some speculation from you, not us. parktalkradio@gmail.com. Thank you all so much, David. Been a pleasure tonight. Hope you have a good one, and we'll get together next time real soon. See you out there in the park.